comfortable. Good morning. Welcome to our meditation. I am Alicia Anabel, La Santera. Let's take some deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Happy Monday. I missed you all yesterday. Think about this weekend. What were some of the things that came up? This week our word, what we're focusing on in our practice is medicine. How our words are medicine, how our work is medicine, how we treat people is medicine. What are we giving the world? How are we serving the world? What are we putting into the world, right? For everything that we're receiving from the earth, what are we putting into it? What is the intention? What is our intention? Medicine. Sound is medicine. Music is medicine. Touch is medicine. Or the books, the stories that we read can serve as medicine. Gifts we receive from others is medicine. Their wisdom, their guidance, their counsel, their friendship, their love. Today we are sending healing medicine to our body. Where do you need that medicine today? Send healing to the place in your body where you know you need it the most. With each inhale, we're breathing truth into our bodies, love into our bodies, faith into our bodies. With each exhale, we're letting it go. We're letting go what hurts us. We're letting go of past beliefs. We're letting go of the ways that the shadow hurts us. We're letting go of manipulation, of toxic relationships, toxic people, toxic experiences. Inhale, abundance. Exhale, lack. Inhale, creativity. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep breathing normally. We are continuing to read A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. We finished the chapter Surrender, and today we're moving on to the chapter Miracles, page 63. Chapter 5, Miracles. Your holiness reverses all the laws of the world. It is beyond every restriction of time, space, distance, and limits of any kind. From A Course in Miracles. 1. Forgiveness. Before the glorious radiance of the kingdom, guilt melts away and transformed into kindness will never more be what it was. From A Course in Miracles. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. They reflect a shift in how we think, releasing the power of the mind to process, to the processes of healing and correction. This healing takes many forms. Sometimes a miracle is a change in material conditions, such as a physical healing. At other times, it is a psychological or emotional change. It is a shift not so much in an objective situation, although that often occurs, as it is a shift in how we perceive a situation. What changes primarily is how we hold an experience in our minds, how we experience the experience, the world of the human storyline, of all our concentration on behavior and all the things that occur outside us, is a world of illusion. It's a veil in front of a more real world, a collective dream. A miracle is not a rearrangement of the figures of our dream. A miracle is our awakening from it. In asking for miracles, we are seeking a practical goal, a return to inner peace. We're not asking for something outside of us to change, but for something inside of us to change. We're looking for a softer orientation to life. Old Newtonian physics claim that things have an objective reality separate from our perception of them. Quantum physics, and particularly Heisenberg's uncertainty of certainty principle, reveal that as our perception of an object changes, the object itself literally changes. The science of religion is actually the science of consciousness, because ultimately all creation is expressed through the mind. Thus, as A Course in Miracles says, our greatest tool for changing the world is our capacity to change our mind about the world. Because thought is the creative level of things, changing our minds is the ultimate personal empowerment. Although it is a human decision to choose love instead of fear, the radical shift that this produces in every dimension of our lives is a gift from God. Miracles are an intercession on behalf of our holiness. From a thought system beyond our own, in the presence of love, the laws that govern the normal state of affairs are transcended. Thought that is no longer limited brings experience that is no longer limited. We are heir to the laws that govern the world we believe in. If we think of ourselves as beings of this world, then the laws of scarcity and death which rule this world will rule us. If we think of ourselves as children of God, whose real home lies in a realm of awareness beyond this world, then we will find we are under no laws but God's. Our self-perception determines our behavior. If we think we're small, limited, inadequate creatures, then we tend to behave that way. And the energy we radiate reflects those thoughts no matter what we do. If we think we're magnificent creatures with an infinite abundance of love and power to give, then we tend to behave that way. Once again, the energy around us reflects our state of awareness. Miracles themselves are not to be consciously directed. They occur as involuntary effects of a loving personality, an invisible force that emanates from someone whose conscious intention is to give and receive love. As we relinquish the fears that block the love within us, we become God's instruments. We become His miracle workers. God, as love, is constantly expanding, flourishing, and creating new patterns for the expression and attainment of joy. When our minds, through focus on love, are allowed to be open vessels through which God expresses, our lives become the canvases for the expression of that joy. That's the meaning of our lives. We are here as physical representations of a divine principle. To say that we are on the earth to serve God means that we're on earth to serve love. We aren't just randomly thrown onto a sea of rocks. We have a mission to save the world through the power of love. The world needs healing desperately, like a bird with a broken wing. People know this, and millions have prayed. God heard us. He sent help. He sent you. To become a miracle worker means to take part in a spiritual underground that's revitalizing the world, participating in a revolution of the world's values at the deepest possible level. That doesn't mean you announce this to anyone. A member of the French underground didn't walk up to a German officer occupying Paris and say, "Hi, I'm Jax, French resistance." Similarly, you don't tell people who would have no idea what you're talking about, "I'm changed, I'm working for God now. He sent me to heal things." The world's about to shift big time. Miracle workers learn to keep their own counsel. Something that's important to know about spiritual wisdom is that when spoken at the wrong time, in the wrong place, or to the wrong person, the one who speaks sounds more like a fool than a wise one. The Course tells us of God's plan for the salvation of the world, called the plan of the teachers of God. The plan calls for God's teachers to heal the world through the power of love. This teaching has very little to do with verbal communication and everything to do with the quality of human energy. To teach is to demonstrate. A teacher of the universe, a teacher of spirit, is anyone who chooses to be one. They come from all over the world. They come from all religions and from no religion. They are the ones who have answered. They adage that many are called but few are chosen, means that everyone is called but few care to listen, and the Creator's call is universal, going out to every mind in every moment. Not everyone, however, chooses to heed the call of his own heart, of their own heart, of her own heart. All of us are only too aware the loud and frantic voices of the outer world, easily drowning out the small, still, loving voice within. Our job as a teacher of the universe, of the Creator, of Spirit, should we choose to accept it, is to constantly seek a greater capacity for love and forgiveness within ourselves. We do this through a selective remembering, a conscious decision to remember only loving thoughts and let go of any fearful ones. This is the meaning of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a major cornerstone of A Course in Miracles philosophy. Like many of the traditional terms used in the Course, it is used in a very non-traditional way. Traditionally, we think of forgiveness as something we are to do when we see guilt in someone. In the Course, however, we are taught that it is our function to remember that there is no guilt in anyone because only love is real. It is our function to see through the illusion of guilt to the innocence that lies beyond. To forgive is merely to remember only the loving thoughts you gave in the past and those that were given you. All the rest must be forgiven. We are asked to extend our perception beyond the errors that our physical perceptions reveal to us. What someone did, what someone said, to the holiness within them that only our heart reveals. Actually, then, there is nothing to forgive. The traditional notion of forgiveness, what the Song of Prayer calls forgiveness to destroy, is then an act of judgment. It is the arrogance of someone who sees themselves as better than someone else, or perhaps equally as sinful, which is still a misperception, and the arrogance of the ego. Since all minds are connected, then the correction of anyone's perception is on some level a healing of the entire racial mind. The practice of forgiveness is our most important contribution to the healing of the world. Angry people cannot create a peaceful planet. It amuses me to think how angry I used to get when people wouldn't sign my peace petitions. Forgiveness is a full-time job. I received that. Forgiveness is a full-time job and sometimes very difficult. Few of us always succeed, yet making the effort is our most noble calling. It is the world's only real chance to begin again. A radical forgiveness is a complete letting go of the past in any personal relationship, as well as in any collective drama. I'm going to leave that there because I think we need to spend some time this week with miracles. Yeah, I want to unpack this. Yeah, I want to take my time. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. I cannot fail in life, and life cannot fail me. Until today, you may have been sitting around, afraid to move, afraid to fail. Just for today, be devoted to seeing yourself and your life as a function of spiritual truth. Remind yourself that you cannot fail. You are supported by life, which knows that your success is assured. Ache. Forgiveness, y'all. What do we need to forgive? Who do we need to forgive? What experience? What moment from our past? What trauma? Who do we need to forgive? In what ways do we need to forgive? How can we forgive ourselves? How can we be open to this calling that a return to love is talking about. This thing that only we're here to do. That's what I'm reflecting on. So when I talk about medicine, what I'm reflecting on, what I'm really saying is, how is my writing medicine? Medicine for me and medicine for the world. How is my spiritual practice medicine? How are my tarot readings medicine? How can I be more intentional about all that I do? How can I be more deliberate in the ways I've been called to serve and bring my medicine and gift my medicine to the world, right? Miracles. There are miracles surrounding us. Not just some of us, but all of us, right? Family, I'm wishing you an amazing day. I'm wishing you so much peace. I'm wishing you so much love. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. While you're inhaling, because I'm doing work with the sacral chakra, which is between your belly button and your pelvis. For those of you who know what a Kegel is, like I'm pressing and tightening. Inhale, doing a Kegel. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale. And for those of you who don't know what a Kegel is, just tighten whatever muscle feels natural for you to tighten in that pelvis area. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. When you activate your sacral chakra, you're doing release work. You're connecting to your emotions. You're thinking about your relationships. And this week is all about forgiveness, right? So medicine is our word, but forgiveness is our journey. Family, may you find ways to forgive those who have hurt you or offended you. May you find ways to forgive yourself. May you know you are guided and protected always, always and in all ways. What I wish for me, I wish for you. May we continue to ascend, right? To vibrate higher and higher and higher. Have the most magnificent day, family. Peace.